Interestingly, right after that came a whole bunch of questions which are talking about the speed limiter and talking about the gearing and whether these are buzzkills in some form or fashion.
Speed limiter.
Like the 120, that's what the first question just mentioned limiter, then the next one mentioned limiter at 120, which is from Unwanted Critic.
How many?
Vivek
What
19.
kilometers an hour should a 160 really do? Like 335. What's wrong with 120? Like if my KTM 390 adventure for this long trip that I went on was limited to 120 kmph, I'd still do exactly the same thing.
At 120. Yeah.
I was doing 105.
Yeah.
And 105 on the gantries on the expressway type of sections where bikes are allowed, that all read as 95. So technically I wasn't even cruising at a genuine 100 kilometers an hour and I made time. So what are you going to do with more than 120 kmph top speed?
I think the key...
Oh, you must be the guys who are making YouTube videos drag racing this thing against the MT-15, and since the MT-15 is not limited to 120, somehow this is the Duke 160's problem.
So I think the idea that you have to keep in mind is that while a higher top speed seems very exciting on paper, and see, these are the easiest metrics to compare, but actually in the real world, in our Indian conditions, 100, 105, 120 at the very upper limit is speeds that you can genuinely use sustainably, enjoyably for longer. So 105, 110 usable speed range is good.
Actually, if you're looking for a 160cc motorcycle that goes faster than 120 and that stops you from buying the Duke 160, I think that's a good thing for KTM, right? Because that's exactly the kind of rider that's led to the image positions that they're in.
Okay.
And in that sense, I can see the silver lining too. You know the best thing about new riders and young riders? Imagine how much they have to grow up as an opportunity. Right? I've been riding motorcycles for what, 30 years now? The amount that I could grow as a percentage of how much far I've come is so small. I mean, I'm almost jealous. But you're a new rider and you're thinking this is important. So imagine how much of the world you still have to discover.
Okay, so I'm going to break that down again a little bit further.
Please translate for me, Kartikeya.
Yeah. No, because it's a very easy and common thing that when you start off, your entire universe of the automotive spectrum is defined by numbers, because those are easily comparable and those are the things that you can easily communicate and convey to say, I have this kind of an experience, or this is the kind of experience you will have. But as you start riding, as you start driving more, you will realize that those numbers are largely inconsequential. What happens on the road and how the experience actually makes you ride is the more important thing. And so many times, like people, like it used to puzzle me no end when you used to drive a new vehicle, and the first question you'd be asked was, what top speed did you do? Like, I have no idea what top speed.
I just came through the village, so 32.
No idea, because you're focused on the experience, you're focused on whether you're enjoying it or not, and that doesn't matter whether it's 30, 60, 90 or whatever it is. You'll come out of it knowing whether you want to spend more time with the vehicle or not. And there have been vehicles where, let's say, the vibrations were not great, I mean there was buzziness, this and that, but you loved being on the bike irrespective of what speed that you were at. And those are the things that you should be looking for rather than this numerical stuff.
No, but if you want to play trump cards,
This is a game of trump cards. Okay. Monster
actually,
Hulk.
if MotorInc were to make in our merch, if you were to make a trump card set, man, it'll be the most useless trump card set ever, right? It will say 0 to 60, irrelevant. Top speed, who cares?
The KTM 160 Duke is about 12 kilos lighter than the KTM 200 Duke. And that number really got my attention. We've really gotten into the details of the 160 Duke. It's there in the entire conversation. You've just seen a small clip of that, but you can find the entire conversation on the MotorInc app, where the motoring first of the KTM 160 Duke is playing.